Hello, good day to everybody. Casey's Garage here, and got Chocolate Lover join us again. Today we're doing a little bit of shopping to improve some of the tools in the garage. So we're going to one of my starting to be favorite stores. Good old Harbor Freight. So we're about to go in the store and grab a few things, and then we'll be right back out and we'll head home and get some more work done. Alright guys, so we are back home, and let's go ahead and unload the car and see what we got. So we got some new rubber mallet. One of the Harbor Freight paint sprayers. An ammo box unrelated to the garage. And that's a filter for the sprayer, a pressure regulator, and the rest is just miscellaneous batteries, stuff like that. And went ahead and picked me up a welding helmet. It was on sale. Won't need it probably for the rest of this project, but maybe the next one. In fact, I will need it for the next one. We'll let you guys know what that is in a upcoming video. And this box kind of opened itself, but I got a polisher, so we'll have to polish the rest of the Mustang. And what I've been really needing for a long time, this heavy guy, is a new floor jack. It's a 3-ton jack.
Very heavy.
It is heavy in the box. It's also a low profile one, so it'll go underneath the Mustangs and stuff that have a low ground clearance. So we'll get this unboxed, get it put together, and then it's time to go ahead and take off the panels of the black Mustang and start sanding them down, prep for paint. So let's do it.
Let's do it.
So Chocolate Lover is helping me out. She is putting the paint stands together, so when we get the fenders and the bumper taken off, we have something to support them while we sand and paint them. So we're going to go ahead and wash this down, and then we're going to use a 400 grit sandpaper. Actually, I got a scuff pad. We're going to use a scuff pad on this. Yeah, you'll go ahead and get all the dirt and stuff off of it. So you give a good scrub in here, and I'll hold it down so it doesn't fall off. Alright, so now we're going to wet sand this, or use a scuff pad. Alright guys, so got the whole bumper sanded down, and there was one little blemish, a little nick in the bumper from before it was shipped or during the shipping process, but either way I got a little bit of spot putty and filled it in, sanded on it, and put a little primer over it. Alright, so while we're waiting on that primer to dry on the bumper, I'm going to go ahead and take this hood scoop off this blue hood. As you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, 5 bolts with nuts on them that go through the hood that holds that scoop on. And then there's also some adhesive tape around it that holds it down to the hood. So go ahead and get those loose, get the hood off, and then we can start getting it prepped for paint as well. Alright, so I'm going to try to do this while kind of showing you guys here. May have to set the camera down. I know the camera's kind of far away, but it is really windy out here. I really don't have anything to put it on, so can't hear me. I apologize. Missed two screws here. There's two more screws with nuts. There's two more screws with nuts on the back there I missed. Grab those. Alright, let's try this again. This hood scoop is something I've never been impressed with. I bought this off American Muscle, and nothing negative towards American Muscle. I purchased a lot of things from them and been very happy with their service, but this is one product that just didn't fit right. The hood on the Mustang kind of naturally or gradually curves, it's got a little hump in the middle and it kind of curves down. And the manufacturer of this scoop made it flat. So I made the mistake of getting it painted before pre-fitting it, but I did try to kind of grind down a little bit, make it fit better, but I was never happy with the fitment of it. So I'm glad that I'm finally getting it off, or got it off my blue car here, and maybe I'll work with a little bit, try to get it fitting better before we paint it black. But anyway, that's done. Alright guys, so got the driver's side fender taken off. I'm going to go ahead and get it wet sand. It's already primered as well. So we'll go ahead and take our 600 grit sandpaper and wet sand this down. Get it all cleaned up. Okay, so last night, it's getting kind of dark, but I put a little bit of spot putty right here at the very front because the manufacturer that made these fenders, they made these points go straight down, whereas the they should be angled out about a 45-degree angle, like you can see here, because the hood actually contours outwards, and these going straight down, it looked funny. So I went ahead and bent those out, which of course then left a little crease right there. So I sanded it down, put some spot putty on there. So now we need to wet sand that, and then shoot some primer on that, and then we go ahead and finish prepping these for paint. The driver's panel is already scuffed down, it's ready to go, but the passenger side still need to scuff it down and get it ready. But before we do that, I did find a lug nut at AutoZone, thank goodness, because I didn't want to have to buy a whole set, but they have an exact match. It's like $1.99. I'm going to go ahead and get this on the car where we had to cut that stud off and get sanded, so I'll be right back. Alright, so I'm going to clean this up and put just a little more spot putty on there. There's still a little bit of an indentation. Probably can't really notice it, but I can, so I'm going to go ahead and put a little more filler in there and do it again. Alright guys, so let me show you real quick one little blemish we had in this passenger fender was right here towards the top by the door. The fender wasn't molded quite right, it's pushed in, and it didn't matter how I adjusted the fender to the car, the door stuck out quite a bit and it's very noticeable. So I flipped it over, took these tools over here and kind of pounded on the inside of that fender to see if it would push that out a little, and it did. But of course it left some indentions, so I cleaned it up, put some filler on there, waiting for this to dry, and then we'll sand this down and then wet sand it. But I test fitted this after I pounded it out, and I did fix the problem. So alright guys, so day 2 of getting these fenders scuffed up and ready to paint. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and switch over to 600 grit. This was 320. And kind of smooth that down just a little bit. Alright guys, so while I put a little primer over the filler on the fender, so I'm just waiting for that to dry. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and wet sand this hood down and get it ready to paint as well. Alright guys, so now I've got the hood off and it's dry. I can see where I still need to scuff around the edges a little bit, and of course around the nozzle holes. But anyway, we'll go ahead and wet sand this down a little bit more, and then let's flip this over, and then we'll work on the other side. Alright guys, so now that I got the other side sanded down, I'm going to go ahead and I got it flipped over here. I'm going to go ahead and take this rubber seal off, and these just pop out of there. We got a few of them out, some little clips there. I'll pop that out, and then we'll go ahead and then wet sand around the edges, and then fix up front here. And this is one thing I noticed about a lot of Mustangs this era, from the 2005 at least through the 2009 era, that Ford did, that the primer or lack of primer that Ford used, at least on their hoods, the paint bubbles right here underneath the lip of the hood, and it starts peeling off. And you'll notice a lot of Mustangs going down the road where the very edge of the hood, where it curves around the front, it looks like there's a lot of big rock chips, but instead it's just a poor paint job. So you can see where it really started to flake off on the corner over here. We'll go ahead and get this fixed up and sand the edges, and then we'll paint the inside black. And I probably won't spend too much time on this side because there is a I don't know what you call the fire retardant mesh thing that goes on the inside of the hood. I'm going to put that back on. I've got the one off the car, off the black car from when it was wrecked. It's not damaged. I also have the one that's off the blue car. So. Alright, so I've got all the loose paint scraped off. We'll get that cleaned up here and then we'll get it primed. But I think what I'm going to do here real quick is I'm going to use a heat gun and pull off this information sticker so I can stick that on the hood I'm putting on the blue car, and I'll pull the one off the black hood and stick it on here so it matches. And those pretty much the same sticker. It says 2007, and the other one was a 2005, so not a big deal, but just try to make it as OEM as possible. So the sticker will not come off without destroying it, so we'll just take it off there. I won't worry about trying to keep it. Alright. Alright guys, so we have the hood sanded down, or scuffed down on the back side. We got the front where the paint was bubbling up. I've got that all the loose stuff chipped away, cleaned it up. I'm gonna go ahead and use some wax and grease remover and rub this down. accent grease removed, let's go ahead and get the primer on. And then we'll go ahead and see if we can shoot some paint on this back side and get it looking like it fits the car. Okay guys, so I don't know if you can hear me. I've got my respirator mask on, but we have the primer done. It's almost dry. And for the most part, it looks pretty good. So we'll let this sit for a little bit and then we'll spray some gloss black on there and see what it looks like. Guys, so we are done painting the under part of the hood. We've got a couple of coats on there. It looks pretty good. So we'll let this dry overnight, and then tomorrow we will start working on the fenders again and the other side of the hood, and do some more painting. So thanks for watching today's episode of Casey's Garage, and we will see you guys next time. Peace.